Last week, I shot with the Nikon D500 and the 50mm f1.8 Series E manual focus lens. I played with some depth of field effects in the studio and walked around on a beautiful day with this setup and enjoyed slowing down to manually focus. I didn't even edit these. I like them just the way they are. New week, new camera setup. Plus, it's ancient August. Here's what I've chosen. When the Nikon D50 hit the market over a decade ago, these were early times for DSLR cameras. You had the D1 series, the D100, then the D70. 6-megapixel cameras were a big deal back then. It was the standard, and that's where the D50 landed. 6 megapixels, an LCD screen on the back the size of a postage stamp, and menus with a comically limited view compared to today's giant LCD screens. No live view, no video, no problem. The D50 was a real shooter in its day. The colors popped compared to some of the others, and these little SD cards were becoming a new standard. There are two ways to look at the D50 today in 2016. You could look at it as a pain in the ass, or with a little imagination and not a lot of money, you can look at it as a capable shooter that was the first DSLR that I used where you could take a JPEG out of the camera and it looked bright and rich, no editing required. So that's part one for this week, the somewhat ancient by DSLR standards, Nikon D50. Part two, the lens. These were awkward times for crop sensor DSLRs. The 35mm f1.8G lens had not hit the market yet. A lot of people were buying 50mm prime lenses for their cropped DSLRs, but that brings you in close. So to keep things period correct, I'm shooting this week with the seemingly ancient 35mm f2D lens. It's a full frame lens, so you can take it right off the D50 and put it on a D810, no cropping required. Also, it plays to one of the key strengths of the D50. It has an in-body autofocus motor, unlike some of the newer entry-level bodies. So you could take the old AF glass, aperture ring and everything, put it on a D50, set f22, and the D50 will do everything it needs to with this lens, including the noisy old in-body autofocus, this right here. That's the sound of history. Okay, I am going to be out shooting with this and this. I'll surely show my results next week. In the meantime, let me know what you are shooting with this week in the comments below.